Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy. In this video, I want to cover the reason why the ANC did not expel Jacob Zuma, but rather chose the route of suspending him until further notice. But before I do that, let's quickly listen to the ANC president, Cyril Ramaphosa, explaining the decision the NEC took to suspend Jacob Zuma from the ANC.
Place. Maybe I know earlier on the Secretary General communicated about the former president. I mean, he is the former president. I mean, you are his successor. And it will be also interesting to hear from you. You've got to find yourself taking this decision of suspending the former leader. So, are you worried about the kind of impact or perhaps the confusion that he may have created amongst the ANC support base, former President Zuma?
No, I'm not worried. I mean, he's a free agent. He has decided to go and support or form another party. And the NEC meeting this weekend took a decision that he should be suspended in terms of the rules of our Constitution, 2560, where if there are exceptional circumstances, in terms of things that are done by any member of the ANC, we are immediately able to suspend that person. And having suspended them, yes, they will have the right to be able to present their case at whatever time. But as we speak now, Jacob Zuma has been suspended by the African National Congress because he said that he is going to support this party, which many of us believe he has formed. And on top of that, he says he wants to remain a member of the ANC. And the ANC constitution does not allow that. Once you define yourself as being allied to another party, you bring into question your own membership, and that is why the NEC took the decision that it has taken.
Mr. President, you used to spend a lot of time with him you were his deputy in government and in the party, so you spoke all the time. Did you, during this time, perhaps pick up the phone or send emissaries to say what is happening? Can we sit down and talk? Did you engage in those? Because it's never happened that a former president of the party would form another party while still saying he's the member of the other party, of that party.
There have been processes. There have been also meetings that he has had. The Secretary General has written to him. So there have been those, but all this came as a total surprise to all of us. Because for a former president of a party, let alone a former president of the African National Congress, it is something that is unprecedented. The NEC discussed the matter, and having discussed it, it then took this decision.
Maybe a bit of reflection. As the party president, you found yourself presiding over possible departure of the former president and the Secretary General. So how does that make you feel, given that, you've lost the Secretary General, obvious, through expulsion, and now you're probably going to, given what is happening, expel the former president? How does that do to the renewal, to see some of the two senior members leave under your own tenure?
Well, it's not even under my tenure. It is a process that is owned or that is being processed by the ANC as a whole. The ANC is on a path of renewal. And we are finding that those who are acting in a way that militates against renewal are finding themselves outside the ANC. So the renewal of the ANC continues unabated. We continue to renew ourselves, to improve ourselves, and on that way forward movement, we will find that there are those who are going to fall off because the renewal process is such that it will, define other people outside.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I am your host, King053, Mr. Easy Imali Eneng, and we are back at it again with another one. And this time around, we cover the suspension of former President Jacob Zuma from the ANC. Now, we have to look at this as a chess game. I think the ANC is failing to see what type of game Jacob Zuma is playing. When you deal with people like Jacob Zuma, you must assume that they're going to predict your next move. So in that manner, you predict their next move also. It's a chess game. That is how Jacob Zuma has shown us that he operates. He does not just do a move. He thinks, then think of your next move. If you have played chess, you understand. You think 3 moves ahead in chess. You think, when I move here, what are the possibilities that my opponent is going to punish me? And when he punishes me, I'm going to punish him here. So that's the 3 moves we're talking about. Your move, his move, and your move. The 3 moves. And if you are an expert in chess, you're thinking about 10 moves ahead. So Jacob Zuma is a smart guy. Jacob Zuma is a smart guy. Excuse me as I try to get my notes closer to me so I can read them properly. The problem is that the ANC is going to have is that Jacob Zuma is not a member of Mkhonto weSizwe. Oh, I'm dropping bombs now. I'm dropping bombs now. Jacob Zuma is not a member of Mkhonto weSizwe, nor is he an interim president, nor is he anything that has to do with the formularities of the Mkhonto weSizwe political party. And this was done on purpose because he knew that the ANC will have to take action against him. I'm going to get into this. This is exactly what Jacob Zuma wanted because he knows since the Limpopo conference that when a president is taken out prematurely, that there is consequences. We saw COPE coming out of that conference, and then later on we saw the EFF, and then we saw what do you call it? African Congress of Transformation. Then we saw MK. Then we saw Areta. You saw so many political parties come out of the ANC. This means that every action that the ANC takes, there is an equal reaction that comes in a form of addition of members or losing of members. So the ANC tried to play this safe to say, listen, let's not act on this man right now. Let's try to suspend him, or let's rather suspend him and deal with this matter after the elections. The reason they are doing that is because deep down they know that the ANC might not get KwaZulu-Natal. And because Jacob Zuma has left the ball in their court to say, listen, I will die an ANC member. Meaning that if you guys want to suspend me then or want to expel my membership, is up to you. But if you do that and then I win KwaZulu-Natal, then you are in deep shit. So the ANC knows this. They have to play the ball game carefully. They are saying, okay, if we suspend this man, it might come back. If we expel this man's membership, it might come back to bite us in the ass. So let's rather suspend it and call him to a discipline hearing, the DC. Okay. And now it comes to a point where Jacob Zuma has got the ANC exactly where he wants them. The issue with this suspension is that They are now suspending him on grounds of defining the party. But the same thing that Jacob Zuma did, though not on the same scale, is Thabo Mbeki also did it. Thabo Mbeki came out and said, I will not tell people to vote for criminals, meaning the ANC. He came out and said it. Do you guys remember that, or did we just forget? But if, in case you have forgotten, that is why the king of 053, Mr. Easy Imalenengi, is here to remind you. Watch this.
But the ANC must renew itself. I say to the ANC comrades that when you say I must go campaigning next year, to say to people, vote ANC. How am I going to do that? To say, vote ANC. When I know very well that the branch of the ANC in this constituency is led by a criminal. You can't. It's not possible to go and say, vote ANC for a criminal. The renewal process is important.
Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, politicians mostly, 90% of them only care about their pockets. So there are some politicians in the ANC who are sitting and watching, observing the situation and trying to see where is this thing going to end. That is why now the NEC has obviously invited the two former presidents who are still alive, which is Thabo Mbeki and Kgalema Motlanthe, to the NEC so that it can look like they are doing the renewal, the building of the ANC and everything. But this Thabo Mbeki that you have invited clearly is not on Cyril Ramaphosa's side, and he clearly has said these people are criminals. You heard the clip, guys. It's not out of my words. So other people are sitting in the ANC who are half Umkhonto and half ANC, but they still looking at their stomach politics that the ANC currently is what is feeding me, and they will stay this side. They are looking, how is the ANC going to deal with this matter? And they are, some of them, they're already in talks with the Umkhonto Wesizwe for coming over. We have seen other members cross over from Mpumalanga, from Limpopo, from all the provinces, KwaZulu-Natal, that's crossing over to the Umkhonto Wesizwe side. But others are still waiting patiently because they need to make sure that, is this ANC really going to die? And is this Umkhonto Wesizwe really going to rise? That is the question that is happening now. Now, if they did not take any action against Thabo Mbeki, why are they taking actions against Jacob Zuma? Because clearly, if you tell people, if you say as the former president, I will not tell people to vote for that councillor knowing that he is a criminal, you are telling people to rather look at other options. It's the same thing that Jacob Zuma did, but the problem is Jacob Zuma announced which party would advise people to vote for. But Jacob Zuma is only the face of Umkhonto Wesizwe. He's not a member. He holds no position in Umkhonto Wesizwe. I'm sure somewhere in his papers, we're not going to find, in Umkhonto Wesizwe papers, we're not going to find Jacob Zuma anywhere. I'm sure you're going to see Jabulani Khumalo everywhere in those papers, and you're not going to see Jacob Zuma's name. So when it comes to the DC, he's going to say, but why are you expelling me? What have I done that Thabo Mbeki has not done? Hey, you guys. So the question then remains, as Pan-Africanists, which side do we side with? No pun intended. Who do we side with as Pan-Africanists? We side, and I say this all the time, the people that speaks about one land, one Africa, one land, and South Africans getting back their land, their resources, getting a state-owned bank and building employment and creating employment for its people. Umkhonto Wesizwe is singing that song, and they probably will be able to deliver from that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to make a video immediately after this one about Jabulani Khumalo, do people understand that also the rest of South Africa are playing in the hands of Jacob Zuma, that he might not even want to be the next president? Have you ever guys considered that? Have you considered that maybe Jacob Zuma does not want to be president? And that is why he has not outright came out and say, I'll be president of Umkhonto weSizwe, because he understands the legal implications of him standing as president again. And he understands that the court system is captured. He understands so many things. That is why he's leaving Jabulani Khumalo to be the front. So I'm going to ask a lot of questions about Jabulani Khumalo that I need you guys to answer for me. So that we know, are you guys ready for potentially a new president being Jabulani Khumalo if Umkhonto weSizwe wins? And if everything goes well, it looks like this Umkhonto weSizwe might create a serious dent into the political landscape. You understand what I'm saying? So I would like to thank also Ace Professional Fighting. They have joined the team. They have come and said, King, we want you to start advertising us. We want to partner with King Said So. We want to see our channel, our events being advertised on your channel. So thank you so much to Ace. They are doing a great job. So currently we've got 3 sponsors. We are doing well. We've got Why Not Technologies, that is all the way in Cape Town. We've got Black Hat Clothing, that is all the way in Soweto. And we've got Ace Professional Fighting, that is all the way in Johannesburg. So we are growing as a channel. Thank you so much for everyone, and I appreciate the support that you guys are showing me, and everyone that has called me for bookings, for guest speaking and all of that. I am a public speaker, so I do know what I'm doing. I am an author of a book. I said Linna. I write books. There's a lot of things that I do, but mainly I am very much passionate about One Africa, One Land. And I think that story, or that African agenda, is not preached enough. And I believe I'm one of very few South Africans that are preaching that story properly without any fear or favor. That Africans come first and everyone else comes second. And as long as we Africans don't carry that mentality, we will never come right. We will never fix our country. As long as we are still looking for multi-racial, multicultural, and we don't look for unity, it will always kill us as Africans. We need an African that is focused and deliberate about saving the African people. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I want us to really focus on the school. The school has got a name now. The school, the Pan-Africanist School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture is coming to fruition. So get ready. The logo will be coming soon. Get ready, guys, to join that train. We are not stopping. We are not stopping. We are going to work very hard. Thank you so much, guys. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, please make sure that you stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Please watch the ads of the channel every time after the video. I salute you. Peace in Pan-Africanism.
In a celebration of mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Ace Fighting Championship brings you a thrilling event on the 10th of February in Johannesburg, South Africa. Experience the intensity live at the EFC Performance Institute. Secure your tickets now on Howler and Ace Tickets for an unforgettable night of combat sports excellence.